Hello, and sorry that we start a little bit late, but the developer keynote, well, it looks like that the time traveling did not really work out, but now we are here for the session you have been waiting for. Hello and a warm welcome today to SAP TechEd 2023. It's great that you are here today with me to learn more about enterprise automation, actually how you could advance your process transformation within your organization. My name is Stephan Schluchter and I'm part of the product management team for SAP Build Process Automation. Well, when we are talking about automation, most likely you have already done this within your company. But nevertheless, what we have seen also when we are talking to you, to our customers, that there are still some issues. Sometimes it's due to the fact that there are still some data silos, so that you really do not have a kind of an orchestrated process from the beginning to the end. Or sometimes people have started to create bots for certain automations in business applications, which is great, but also you need to have some governance around these processes. And last but not least, all this could, let's say, also then come to a kind of disconnected tool set. So you have done integration, probably you have done some analysis of processes, automation, but they are not really working together. And this is what we want to change with our approach around enterprise automation. So in fact, to enable you to become the intelligent and automated enterprise which you want to be. Having said this, enterprise automation, it's not a new product. In fact, it's a smart combination of existing products for integration, for automation, also for process analysis, enriched with some new AI capabilities and built and leveraging on pre-built content. So what you can do, and one important thing here is to mention, it doesn't matter where you are starting actually. So you could start to integrate your processes and then probably you think, probably the performance is not good. So what you could do actually is then use SAP Signavio to really do some kind of analysis of your processes, to find out what's going wrong. Where are process bottlenecks, for example? And then this might give you some kind of guidance, some hint where probably automation would be necessary. So where you could really improve your whole processes, or where it's also probably needed to extend certain standard processes which are running within your SAP applications or non-SAP applications. And by the way, that's a good point. You can use this within your SAP landscape, also with your non-SAP toolings, because we have the flexibility also to integrate in hybrid environments, in on-premise and also into cloud applications. All of this is based and also supported by pre-built content packages. You will find them for integration, but also for the process improvements. And right now we have also moved the SAP Build Content Hub as part of the SAP Business Accelerator Hub. So there you will find all the artifacts which you would need to accelerate your business process transformation. But you are here at TechEd. You also would like to know what kind of new features do we have. So, on the one hand side, something which we will release probably in 2 weeks or so is a new process building experience within SAP Build Process Automation. So it would become into a vertical process layout and give you more guidance, but also more freedom when it comes to really the design of comprehensive end-to-end business processes. On the other hand, generative AI, that's the topic, and it's also, of course, a topic for enterprise automation. I mean, with low-code, no-code tooling, we already lowered the barrier quite down to really get a lot of people also included here as citizen developers. But with the capabilities of generative AI, we will come and bring this to a next level. Therefore, we are leveraging Joule, the digital assistant, who will help you to create processes, to get some kind of recommendations of pre-built content, and then really bring all the things together which you would need. Having said this, let me go to a demo. Most likely, each and every organization has a well-defined purchasing process. So everyone knows what needs to be done, but most likely organizations also have some maverick buyers. So people who probably think, I know it better than the standard process, or probably who are bypassing the process because it's too complex, too cumbersome, whatever, whatnot. But the result of this, besides several different disadvantages, is just the true fact that you will get invoices within your company which do not have a purchase order assigned. But you also need to handle them. You need to pay, of course, also them, and you also need to ensure that you don't do, for example, double payment, and that you really have a kind of a transparency what's going on. And this is what we are achieving with enterprise automation. So first and foremost, we would identify where are the process bottlenecks. Where is the performance of the processes not really good? Then, based on these recommendations, we would move on to SAP Build Process Automation. And then leveraging here Joule to really get some kind of first process templates or recommendations, what kind of processes are actually best fitting for this particular use case. And once we have built everything together, we can even leverage SAP Integration Suite to, for example, store the invoices in different file shares or send out any kind of notifications to dedicated systems like, for example, Slack or Team. And last but not least, we would directly then starting the creation of the invoice and the first processing within the SAP S/4HANA Cloud environment. Well, let's have a look in the system. I've brought to you a short video on this, and let me show you what's going on there. So we are here in SAP Signavio, and we are really getting first recommendations based on the first insights which we have received here. Moving one step further, we are now here within the process mining capabilities of SAP Signavio Process Intelligence. And here we can really go into details, find out what's going on, or to be more precise, what's going wrong in our processes. And we can see the invoice creation. It's an issue. And this is also an area which we want to improve. So, for example, here we see also that the creation of the invoice via a dialog user is causing a lot of trouble. It's spending just too much time there here for our employees. We are now within SAP Build Process Automation. And for the first time, we are leveraging Joule, our digital assistant, to get some pre-built content recommendations. So first we just say what we want to do. We want to manage the invoices without the purchase orders. And as you can see here, there are all the artifacts available, different kind of automations, processes, forms you have there in, business rules, data types, everything what you need to do here. And now you can import it. So this means we have here a direct connection to the SAP API Business Hub, which is the store, so to speak, of all the content, and can directly include this content into our project. And this is what we are doing right now. The content is imported, we have the decisions, we have different processes in there, and now it's our task to actually work on this. And here, also for the first time, you see now the new layout, the new citizen developer experience within SAP Build Process Automation. Doesn't it look nice? It's not only looking nice, but it's really providing you a better access and really a nice environment where you can build your processes. So we are here now within the process of the managing of the invoices without purchase order, but we need another process for this. Actually, we want to add a process where all the invoices get a dedicated code. This is important because then we can also have a kind of a unique identifier here. So, and this is what we are now creating. Also here we are writing down what kind of information, what kind of steps should be done, and based on this a new process will be created. We can then take a look at the status of the process, and as we can see, yeah, looks good. Let's move on and then accept the whole stuff, and the process will be generated for us. So just within a few minutes, everything is there what we have here. Now don't get scared regarding these red arrow markers. They will all disappear as we move on with the definition of the process itself. So we are opening here the editor to also create some rules, so which parameters are necessary to really assign these codes to our invoice at the end of the day. And also here we are leveraging Joule with the digital assistant and just write down what we want to achieve. Getting then also the information, what is needed here, and finally what we are doing now, we are accepting again, and now the rule gets created. So we have now the master process to manage the invoices without a purchase order. We have a process created to actually generate these codes. We have also business rule included there, but we are dealing with real-life systems, right? So this means we now need to access also the systems, and therefore we are leveraging different API sources. In this case, actually, we are using the SAP Business Accelerator Hub, and again here, use the information what we have there, for example, to read the information from the GL, the General Ledger account of our business system. As you can see, we can also adapt this API based on our needs and then publish this as a so-called action to our environment. So, and now we are ready. We have now included here our action, what we are doing right now, into the process, to the coding creation of the non-PO invoices. We are selecting the destination, in this case it's S/4HANA, and now we are bringing all the pieces together. So the process based on the pre-built content, the action which we have created, but also the newly created process, releasing it and deploying it for consumption of our end user. And this looks like in the end user experience, so we are leveraging here WorkZone, for example, providing all the needed data in the first form, and then really get this process triggered and are now able to securely handle all the invoices which are coming in, which do not have a purchase order assigned. So right now we haven't used any single line of code, we haven't written any single line of code, and are really focusing on the one hand side on pre-built content packages and have leveraged also a lot of the capabilities which you see here. So we have the Integration Suite, for example, we have used SAP Signavio with the process insights, the process intelligence, and we have also leveraged different capabilities within SAP Build Process Automation, like the creation of actions, of business rules, of forms, and so on, and also of bots. And with bots, we also are part of a bigger ecosystem, which we have partners like Microsoft Power Automate, Automation Anywhere, Google, or also UiPath when it comes, for example, to automations within non-SAP business applications, which you can use. So we are here quite open and also invite you here to take these advantages from our open partner ecosystem. Having said this, our customers, they are the keystone, they are the most important people we are dealing for. And we have here some customer stories, by the way. Also, Avaya will give a session on this, so you are also invited to find out how they could actually improve their process transformation, their process transition, or for example, Mahindra and Mahindra, who really achieved 20% faster execution of different processes like back order processing or data extractions and so on. So with this, we are now also coming to the end of the session itself. So let me summarize. With enterprise automation, you will get products which are combined in a smart way to integrate everything, whether they are non-SAP applications or SAP applications. You will get, with SAP Signavio solutions, everything you need to really analyze business processes, to get insights, to go into the details with process mining. And with SAP Build, with SAP Build Process Automation, you have everything what you need to extend standard business processes, also create process orchestration across different systems, or even do certain automations within a system, within a dedicated process to really get rid of all the complex tasks and also the redundant tasks which probably your colleagues have in there. Everything is based on the one hand side and leveraged on pre-built content, which you can use and also supported via with our latest AI capabilities. And having said this, thanks so much for watching us today here in the session around enterprise automation. We have a lot more to show. And I also would like to provide you here also a link to the community where you can learn more about enterprise automation. Hope we stay in touch. Wish you a great time at TechEd and all the best with enterprise automation with SAP. Thank you.